Hey everyone, welcome to day 6 of the SC2AI Season 11 tournament. I'm here today with Polymorphic. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
Good
it's
to
good to
have
be
you, man.
here.
Yeah, good to have you back, man. I haven't seen you since last season.
I know it's been a while, but looking
Yeah,
forward to casting some games.
yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So you've been keeping up with a lot of the tournament, I take it?
Yeah. Seen most of the recent matches.
Cool. Yeah. Um, so yes, tonight is going to be Spiny versus Strelok, and also Dominion Dog, which is our renamed Fiddlina bot, against additional pylons, our old stalwarts. Um, of course, yesterday we had some really fun games. I'm just going to put up the bracket quickly on there. So yeah, um, Sharpened Edge got 3-0'd by Swarmbot. That's into the semi-final now to face up against Micro Machine, who took quite a simple 3-0 win against Mad AI. Um, Pretty big upset there, would you say, against Sharpened
Yeah.
Edge? But I don't know. I think the nice little cheese from Swarmbot is good for. It's got a good chance in the tournament now. There's no more updates, remember, so it should be fun.
Yeah, cheese can be quite strong.
Anyway,
Ask parting.
our resident cheese master. Well, not resident, but yeah. So tonight we have Strelok versus Spiny. Coming up first. What are your thoughts on those bots?
Um, I mean, they both look quite strong. Strelok, I think has traditionally been very scary, but
Yeah,
I think this could actually be a map dependent.
yeah.
I don't know.
Spiny is known for coming out with his own cheese occasionally as well. So you never know with Spiny. He can go for long macro roach games, or he can go for what we call the Bro Rush, I think it was. Um, which, if you haven't seen it, it's burrowed roach. So we dubbed it the Bro Rush. So it's quite fun. Anyway, let's get into our first game on game one. Have you got that ready to go?
Yeah, just a second. Loading very
Yeah.
slowly.
No worries. Yeah, we were just discussing earlier that whenever we get Strelok into games, his replay files tend to be slightly larger than most. Um, he's our resident APM master, uh, regularly hitting the 100k mark. Um, but yeah, just seeing Rasper in chat, ready to see his bot. Um, I'm not sure if we've got Armageddon, who is the author of Strelok, in chat. Um, I know he's on a different time zone, so he sometimes has to go to bed early. But yeah.
All right, I'm good to go.
Okay. Going in three, two, one, go. Wait. I need to swap over the overlay, don't I? There we go. You started.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do intros?
In the bottom left with the Zerg bot, it is Spiny sending out some overlords, and in the top right, it is Strelok, who I think is favored based off of stats, but I'm not entirely sure. This
I think on the ladder I was looking earlier, and they're kind of about even. So
okay, yeah.
I think it's going to be a really close series. I think. Um, let's see. Anyway, let's just take a look at the APM. Actually, I called Strelok the APM master, but Spiny's up around 30,000 at the moment, and I think this is the mining trick that Scarlet was teaching us all about how essentially it's about 5% faster mining because you're individually clicking the drones so they don't have to decelerate. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it seems to be a bit better.
I mean, take what you can get. Although sometimes you wonder how much efficacy that actually has. Like, you get slightly more money, and then it's like, well, I spent 30 hours implementing the system to give me slightly more money, and now I die to a Ling all in.
Yeah, it's it's impressive. 30,000 APM on a single base. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not something a human would do. Um, anyway, so spawning pool. So nothing too out of the usual here. Factory coming up. No command center yet from Strela. So maybe that's signifying some kind of weird all-in.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty standard 1-1-1.
Yeah. Sending a Reaper across the map.
It's interesting to see the tech lab on the factory.
Yeah.
That's usually for Hellions and pro
Yeah.
matches, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes.
It's interesting, like in the chat, that Strelok came up with the kill all humans thing when he's playing the human race.
Yeah, the only group of people who actually has humans.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he just really hates Terran.
it's possible. But
TBT.
he plays really well, so we can't hate them that much. Oh my God, Spiny is up 50,000 APM already just on 2 bases. This is going to be fun, guys.
Yeah, they'll even just the lings, just spam clicking.
Yeah. I don't think it's much the things. I think it's just the workers mining.
I think the drones.
Yeah, yeah.
The drones are definitely. Speaking of drones, it's not as many drones as you would think for the 2 bases.
No.
Only 33 and already up on 2 gas.
Yeah, it's a little bit low.
With a roach warren, I wonder if they're going to go for some sort of early roach play off of this.
It's definitely possible. Like that's what you would need a lot more gas for. Definitely. I mean, if you're just going to go for some Ling Bane composition, you might not want to stick so many on gas.
Yeah, and you would need some more drones at your third.
Yeah. But still
And
really yeah.
Strelok going for this very defensive build. 1 base, no expansion.
Sending out a nice Banshee there. Researching Cloak still. But yeah, it's... I'm not so sure about this build from Strelok. Like, he really does need a second base pretty soon, I would imagine. The Banshee's going to do work against the Roaches, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, and the tanks are very, very strong against roaches.
Yeah.
That is sort of what they do best.
Let's see how many workers he can get here. Although there is a spore out, so probably won't be too many. So, just going back to the APM. So, Spiny has now cut the APM for the drones and is down to about 2,000 APM, whereas Strelok is still up around 13,000.
It's interesting that it decided to stop doing the drone micro. I wonder if it costs just too much in
Yeah. I think it's 2 things. It's basically if you spam too many APM, the API doesn't catch everything, so you can get lost actions, and that leads to unpredictable behavior. And also, it causes your bot to run really slowly, and obviously the games do have a time limit per frame, so
yeah.
It's probably a combination of both of those.
So we've got Lings, Ravagers, and Roaches, but I feel like 3 tanks and a Raven kind of just smash this.
Yeah. Like, but there is 3 bases here, so well, there's only 2 bases here now for Strelok. and obviously Spiney's on 3. So you kind of expect that to be the case, but it's still very, very late for Strelok to get second base. But so I do like the creep level at 5 minutes in. You're already up to nearly halfway through the base, the map. Sorry.
Yeah, the creep spread is very impressive, and the ability to just continuously be on it with a bot is very strong. As a Zerg player myself, it's always something I struggle with, is remembering to.
It's definitely map hacks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's as much as map hacks as Terran map hacks, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased.
Yeah. Everyone always thinks that their race is underpowered, but that got absolutely smashed there with the little roach running. But that's what we were trying to look at earlier with the burrowed roaches. He did try to burrow them, but I think there was vision there. So Strelok now coming across the map. And here we see the disadvantage of such big creep spread and always being on creep spread is your queens are left somewhat exposed.
Yeah, especially if you don't have overlords near the edge of your creep, and you can't see units coming. It can be quite problematic.
So I do like the way that Strelok is clearing the creep here. So more burrowed units. We do have the ravens over here, but they're not in range to actually see the burrowed roaches, although they are now, and they'll go down. So yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the economy difference is pretty staggering here. But again, if you're a Zerg player going Roach Ravager, even with Burrow, you sort of you're never going to trade effectively. You need to have a huge economic lead.
Yeah. And we see it's starting to push back now with the Roach Ravager composition. Well, there's not many roaches left actually. It's more just Ravager Zergling now.
Yeah, and Zerglings by themselves do not really kill Marines or tanks. Well, maybe tanks if they can get on top of them,
yeah. But you have to have a lot to get there in the first place, is the problem. Yeah. So it seems to be this constant battle in the middle of the map, and I think Spiny is just about getting an advantage before being pushed back a little bit. But I think what these bots are going to do now is just send army and army into the middle of the map and see who comes out on top.
Yeah, I mean, it is sort of just in this kind of sort of constant battle here, it comes down to economy and the effectiveness of your trades, and
yeah,
I mean,
well, this tank here is getting work done before it gets taken out, but it was being the hero.
Yeah, in general, you would expect this Terran army to be much more cost effective, but 45 SCVs to 79 drones is not.
It's like, is it more cost effective?
You don't need to be that cost effective.
Yeah. Is it more cost effective than the Zerglings can make more Zerg?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's interesting to see some changelings here too.
Yeah, it's something.
I don't think I've seen any bots with changelings before.
It's something that Spiny does love to do. It'll just throw them in there and, you know.
They're just chilling. They're hanging out.
Yeah, it gets a lot of info. But it's quite easy to see from a bot's perspective which ones are changelings and which aren't. So.
Yeah, it's not nearly as deceptive as it is for a human player.
So, in theory, Strelok should be on that, but I don't think it's really programmed in there. So yeah, it seems to just be one constant long trade here, and neither bot is really pushing the other one back.
Yeah, But Starlock hasn't expanded. Starlock is on 2 bases, and these 2 bases are gonna mine out. Like the main is already almost mined out. The natural is getting there, and I mean, Spawny's on 5 bases. It's like
Yeah.
82 drones.
Eventually, this is going to turn for Strelok, against Strelok rather.
Yeah.
It might just be a matter of time.
At some point, you no longer have money to keep making units.
Yeah. At that point, it doesn't matter how cost-effective your trades are, because unless they're basically infinity of effective, it ain't gonna win.
Yeah. Well, and I think one thing that's really hurting right now is the lack of upgrades for the Terran army. Like Terran, especially like biotank, upgrades are really, really important, and you do not want to be 2 upgrades behind on a Zerg. Like that's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Marines especially benefit from their upgrades more than most other units.
Yeah.
So having unupgraded Marines is really going to hurt.
That being said, the Baneling target fire is very good.
Yeah. Oh, and that bile as well. That's crazy.
Interesting to see infestors mixed in here with the fungals.
I mean, it's really just the kitchen sink at the moment of what Spiny is throwing at them. Like, you've got roaches, ravagers, you've got hydras, you've got lurkers.
Yeah.
Are there lurkers in there? Oh no, sorry, not lurkers. Ravagers.
Now we just need some broodlords, some ultras. We got the whole Noah's Ark build going.
Yeah, I think we might see that. I know Spiny does like to throw some broodlords in occasionally. I'm not sure if it's in this build though.
Yeah, Strelok is not doing anything to clear these bases to try to take a third. It's just sees the creep and fails to expand. And
Yeah,
I think the income is dwindling now, and it will not be long before this does not end well.
No.
Strelok needs game-ending damage, like right now, in order for there to be much of a hope.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see that. It keeps trying to build this third here and just kind of like going, nope, not going to happen.
It's like maybe no, maybe no.
Yeah, poor Strelok. And I see the box 40 liters of vodka position. Top secret mission. Pick up the vodka before the opponents.
That's going to be difficult when the entire map is covered in creep.
Yeah. But look, Strelok is built by a Russian creator, and essentially, I mean, I never underestimate the Russians' ability to get vodka. Okay, I've seen it.
That is fair. That is fair.
I was in Russia for a while. I know that they do like their vodkas. It is not a myth.
However, queens, roaches, ravagers, zerglings,
Yeah.
hydras, broodlords, just all the units. Just name them all.
Do we
Vipers.
have
What else we got in here?
Yeah, we got vipers. Do we have broodlords? I haven't seen.
Yeah, broodlords are morphing. 3 broodlords are morphing right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. We got everything.
We got the whole.
Spidey just doesn't have a unit he doesn't use.
Every expensive unit, let's just grab that. I mean, when we have 96 drones and the entire map of bases, you can do whatever you want.
He just grabbed that Raven there.
But no units that shoot. Well, the queens shoot up, but lack of target fire hurts.
I mean, there were a couple of hydras in there. I think.
At one point. Oh yeah, there's still a couple alive.
Yeah, so we've got pretty much everything in the unit stat there. There's nothing missing.
Certainly a large variety here.
Yeah.
I have to say the corrosive vials have been pretty interesting. For the most part, seemingly pretty useful. And the abducts have also been like nice target priority on the the ravens and tanks.
Yeah, there's nice target priority, but he's not really finishing the ravens off. Like,
Yeah, there has been a lack of target fire on the units that get abducted.
yeah. So I mean, the tanks have been way more effective than the ravens, really, which is kind of what you'd expect. Some nice splitting against these banelings, though.
Yeah, the splitting and the target fire against the banelings and the fungals, but again,
Yeah.
there are what 2 mineral patches left, so
Yeah, this is not looking good. I think he's going to be out of units pretty soon. Oh wait, did I see? No, there's still no lurkers there. Is there?
I don't think there's a lurker den, is there? No, I don't see a
No.
lurker den.
No, so still no lurkers there. So okay, so I'm going to award this game to Trelloc just because Spiny doesn't have lurkers. He needs every single unit to win.
Required all units?
Yep. He's even going to send his broodlings in.
It's just BM at this point.
Yeah. So I think this is the last possible chance here for Strelok, is this army here. The supplies are hugely in Spiny's favour.
Yeah, you could trade all of the army for one marine and rebuild it all and then do it all over again and then still end up winning, like.
Yeah, unfortunately Spiny is the one that gets free units with these broodlings.
Yeah.
And that is not what you want.
Energy-based damage off the fungals.
Yeah. Oh, it's not good.
I'd say this is pretty much over.
Yeah, I do like the way he's targeting down the broodlings, and the broodlings aren't getting a lot of value in there. But again, it's just, yeah, there just isn't enough reinforcements now. I think he is long distance mining a bit, but I think all of this army is going to get cleaned up.
Yeah, long distance mining with mules is not really the savior needed to hold this game, I think.
I mean, Ketrop does it with his bot, yeah, but that's more of a BM tactic just to make sure that the opponent can't mine, rather than actually any serious mining himself.
One thing that I think would be interesting to see is some more target fire down of these medevacs, because the medevacs have been surviving for a very long time and just getting in massive amounts of healing.
Yeah.
And the queens have been on the front lines in the fights, but they've been mostly hitting marines as opposed to targeting medevacs.
Yeah. Interestingly, I was just going to see. No, there hasn't been a single building destroyed from Spiny yet. He's killed lots of the army, but I don't think there's been a single building lost on either side. So, yeah, they've all just been meeting in the middle of the map. It's like, screw the buildings, we don't need to attack your bases, we'll just come after the army and meet in the middle.
We're having fun in the middle. We got our mosh pit, and that's what we're doing.
It's like just the middle blender. Yeah. I think we're seeing as broodlings finally get a little bit of damage in. But the kiting on these marines is so good that it's very difficult for those broodlings to do anything before getting taken down.
Yep, but I mean, all they have to do is just hit. Like, just the first hit even is enough eventually.
Yeah.
With this kinds of when the numbers are this in your favor.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It would be interesting to see if Spiny could recognize more of its advantage and just sort of push.
Yeah, I think it's always
104.
Yeah, it must know that it's pretty much an unassailable lead.
Yeah, the mining is essentially gone. There is no more army. Just every unit that dies is gone. There is no rebuilding.
Oh, but it might take down the Broodlord here. One Broodlord down. There's hope.
There's hope.
It took out a Broodlord.
I mean, yeah, Broodlords are expensive, but
And the Queen.
gonna have to go and say 8k gas, 9k gas,
Yeah.
sorta.
I think it can kind of rebuild this about 5 times over, and
Yeah.
I think this is the decisive fight now. There's no more army, no more minerals. I think we should call this one over and
Seems
fast forward it.
reasonable.
Yeah, it's sorry, Strelok. But yeah, so basically just a real strangulation there from Spiny. Like,
Yeah, the lack of being able to take a third, and I think
yeah,
it just got a little confused with the creep block, and that really
yeah,
did not allow for a continuation.
yeah. If the it just couldn't find a location. It's a similar thing to Micro Machine does, but Micro Machine just fills up all the expansions with its own base instead.
The real strat is your opponent can expand if you've already taken the expansions.
Exactly. Right, now just searching for the last little thing. Oh, GG. And 25-minute game, Spiny takes a 1-0 lead. All right.
Well done.
That was a fairly fun game. I think if Strelok does go for another build, which is a faster expand, it's probably got a better chance in the second one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the next match is on Submarine, right? So there's definitely a lot of potential for some cheesy plays on Submarine.
Yeah, it does like its cheesy plays, but Strelok tends to pull out more of the cheesy plays against Protoss opponents, I think.
That is fair.
Give me a shout when you're ready to go.
I'm all good.
Cool. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So we're 1-0 down up in the top left. It's looking to come back. It's Strelok. GLHF's in chat. And down the bottom right, looking to continue its winning run in the tournament. It hasn't lost a map yet. It is Spiny. So yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where is this drone going.
Oh.
Well, I think this is about to get very interesting.
We saw some prime cheese yesterday, by the way. So, I mean, like, it would fit with our tactics. Where are you going, little drone?
Is it scouting for proxy racks, maybe?
Possibly.
I don't know. This is very strange. Its pathing location is taking it all over the place. I think maybe it's just scouting, but
yeah, I think for a moment it was channeling Swarmbot. It felt the power of the Swarmbot, and then it's like, no, 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 come back here, little drone. You cannot be that cheesy.
proxy hatch.
No, oh, that was so good. I so enjoyed Swarmbot last night with the Proxy Hatch cheese.
We got a 2 gas out of Strelok. Could be some aggressive intentions here.
Yeah, it looks as if he's going Reaper first again. But yeah, I'd really like to see him try and expand a lot sooner. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
either expand sooner or do something with the units.
Yeah. So Raspa has confirmed in chat that it's just like it is just to scout that drone there. So yeah, it's not channeling the Swarmbot proxy hatch. I am most disappointed. You should definitely put that in for next time.
Yeah, and it just has to threaten, you know? You just
Yeah.
send the drone and just pretend like you're gonna do it at least.
Yeah. I think now everyone is going to be wary of that. Wait, find the Strelok. You are Strelok? Wait, what?
Yeah, okay, well done.
Yeah. Oh. So,
Reaper, being a Reaper,
yeah.
getting some Zerglings.
Getting a few there.
Gets a Ling. Oh, gonna get 2 Lings. Okay.
Yeah, I think the queen should be able to clean this up now.
The
Yep,
drone maybe
very
not
annoying.
making the
Oh,
best
no.
choices.
No, no, what? Oh, poor drone. Come on, queen, do your job. It's going to take another one, though. I see nothing at position. Yeah, how many?
Speed should be done pretty soon.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to go down, is it? Yep, just about.
Let's see, back on Strelix side of the map. Another 1-1-1. Looks like very similar opening. Got Tech Labs, tanks.
I think we're going to see a very similar build to last time. Bringing some more tanks
hopefully
out.
it can land something a little earlier, though.
Yeah. And this is a much smaller map, so in theory, if it does get over the other side of the map faster, then it might be able to pull off a victory there.
Here comes the expansion.
I think that's slightly earlier as well, possibly. Because I think last time it got to about 6 minutes and we were still waiting for the expansion to come up.
Yeah. And
So,
I mean, 29 SCVs is, well, it's not ideal, but it's not terrible either, so.
I think Spiny has got quite a lot more than last time as well, though.
Yeah, 46 drones is pretty solid. 2 gas. I mean, like, this is definitely a more macro build, I think, than last time.
Yeah.
The roaches are later. There's get more focus on economy before the roaches come up. But again, you're building roaches into tanks, so like not the usually the ideal choice of units.
Yeah, it's definitely not ideal. But you know, you obviously are a lot more mobile than the tanks, so you can run around them. But
yeah, well, and if you have speed and burrow, that can definitely.
Yeah. Well, as we do have a nice little attack here with the Banshees and the Hellions, but I think that's Spore Crawler, is it Spore Crawler? Yes. So that should come up and deal with this.
Still, several drones. 9 drones on that Banshee before it goes down.
Nice. Well worth it.
And yeah, the drone count down to 50. I mean, that'll go back up pretty fast, but roaches have started building, and well, this is what happened last time.
Yeah. So it does look like we might be getting. So that circling is borrowed. So yeah, there appears to be borrowed units at every single base outside of his natural. So I'm not sure if he's able to clear that out. But
yeah, and creep is dropping from the Overlord here.
So there are spores at all the bases, but again, it's... Oh, that's a mistake, surely. Losing that Banshee there.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see a second starport. It's 2 starports and 1 Rax. Wonder where this is going.
Battle cruisers, maybe? I don't know. There's no fusion core yet, so...
I think there's a fusion core somewhere.
Is there?
Am I blind? Yeah. So...
yes. It's right there, I see it.
So definitely, I think battlecruisers are maybe possible, but like, you have 2 bases. I mean, it's not going to be many battlecruisers.
Yeah. Oh, here we see the power of borrowed roaches, but Raven's taking them all out. So I do like the tactics of Strelok to just keep hitting with various little squads.
Yeah, if you can keep the Zerg from balling up, that is very effective.
Oh, you've got the tanks here, but the Zerglings are just going to run straight past the tanks and into the natural. There's only 4
Yeah,
here, but
the SCVs need to do something here.
I mean they should just
I mean,
probably
the
attack the
tank.
Zerglings. Yeah. Ah, there we go.
The tank
The
doing more
tanks.
damage maybe to the SCVs than...
Yeah. I mean that's going to kill all your own units more than it's going to kill theirs.
Oh my goodness, 87 drones out of Spiny here, just
Yeah, it's a few
macro
going
machine.
down. Yeah, it's
Very much the strategy
crazy,
of doesn't matter how many I lose as long as I have enough to
yeah.
replace them.
Yeah, and look at the creep spread as well.
Yeah, very, very dominant. Well, basically half past the midway line. There is very little room to siege. We got mutas this time.
That's going to be good. That's a unit we didn't see last time. Like he's filling out the bingo card of units.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, gotta cross our matches here.
Yeah.
And I got that is I think maybe potentially better against the dual starport play.
Yeah.
If it does become like just a bunch of banshees, mutas pretty good against banshees.
Yeah. I think we definitely have more banshees coming out. Seems to be the play he's going for. So yeah, he will
Does look like I mean, he took the third. He looks like he's gonna maybe get a fourth too, which could definitely make this much more effective than last time.
Yeah, last time he couldn't even get his third up. This time he's got the fourth on the way, I think. Or it's going to be on the way pretty soon.
As soon as we can figure out how burrowedlings work.
Yeah. Oh, no. Are you going to be able to get the Raven over here?
Come on, believe.
Oh. No, I don't think he's going to get it up. Unless the Raven gets pulled over there.
Yeah, I think if other units come to this location, it might accidentally cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about Mutalisks is, well, Mutas can be very good. They're also like the most fragile unit. So something goes wrong, and suddenly, you are down.
If you get a cyclone lock on, yeah. But yeah, Thors are also pretty deadly to mutas.
Yeah. More banshees. I think the problem with these banshees right now is that there are now enough units to deal with them, and because they're all flying in one at a time, they're sort of just losing banshees one at a time, which is not a super effective trade of gas.
Yeah, you've got overlords, you've got mutas, you've got hydralisks in there, you've got spore crawlers all over the place. It's not likely that you're going to be able to get much done with that. So
yeah, it would be interesting to see a transition of some kind.
Yeah.
Into some later game unit. There's another starport coming down.
I think he's just doubling down on this. Yeah.
It's just banshees. Banshees are the way.
I want to see those battle cruisers.
I know. I like the thing about banshees is in a straight up fight they sort of just lose to a lot of stuff like hydras or anything else. And going for banshees after they already have the army out is usually not a super effective strategy. There are a whole squad of hydras and even infestors and vipers for fungals and abducts.
Oh yeah. Also, he did actually start building this, but I don't think it's going to finish, is it?
I mean, if the Zerg just ignores it.
Yeah, I would have thought he should easily be able to take this out if he wanted to, but those biles
the tanks are certainly not having a good time of it.
No. But I saw some earlier biles hit his own army, so.
Yeah, the biles are interesting because it's one of those things where it's hard to actually hit biles consistently regardless of what, but dodging them with your own units seems like that might be higher up on the list of priorities. Gets a Raven.
I
this
think
base is definitely going down.
it's very difficult in the API, I think, to actually dodge your own biles because it's not easy to see where they are and when they're coming down exactly.
Yeah,
So,
you sort of have to just remember where you threw
yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay, so he does get that base. That's pretty huge.
Yeah, the natural is flying here. This is
Oh,
34 supply.
this looks to
Not
be
really
over. Yeah.
what you're looking for.
No, it looks like that's going down as well. And we're just going to see the Ravagers and Hydras are just going to lay siege to this base now. Interestingly, there is still a base here, but alright, I think we're calling this one over. I don't think there's any way back.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like it.
So, Spiny going to take a 2-0 lead. I'll let this one go forward a bit. But yeah, I think we saw at least Strelok got 2 bases up, or 3 bases up this time. So he did put up a bit of a better fight. But yeah, still not quite enough. Strelok,
Yeah, I think there needs to be either a change in the opener or a change in the like mid-game plan
yeah,
out of Strelok in order for this to go better. Or Spiny does something that gets countered by what Strelok's doing. That could also work.
yeah, it's not impossible. Like I say, I think they're quite even on ladder at the moment, so definitely Strelok has the ability to beat Spiny. Anyway, let's take a look at game 3. Strelok does have a number of different builds as well, so I think we might see something different out of him this time. But give me a shout when you're ready to go.
I'm good to go.
Okay, going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, you want to do intros?
All right, in the top left, down 0-2, looking to stay in the series, it is Strelok. And in the bottom right, looking to close out the series and move on, it is Spiny. With the crazy drone binding.
Yeah,
Okay.
weird. Yeah, I think the thing with that is it just doesn't decelerate the workers when it finishes. But yeah.
Slightly faster, yeah.
Yeah, it is slightly, but again, at 27,000 APM, that's quite a lot.
Yeah. You could say that. I think I would agree with that assessment.
Put it this way, as a human player, I don't think I would be able to do it.
Yeah, I think that might be a little outside of the skill set of most average players.
Yeah, definitely. But it's fun.
Again, very diligently scouting for proxy racks.
I want to see that probe just, or that drone rather, just stick up a hatch somewhere, even if it's just to throw him off. You know,
Just like start a hatch right next to the command center in the low ground. Just like BM, just put it right there. Just be like, haha, look, it's in your face. What you gonna do about it?
it's like a drone as well. What do you want to be? Do you want to be a scouting drone all your life, or do you want to be a hatchery?
Exactly.
No.
Do something.
Your job is not just run around the map and eventually die. Your job is to become something greater than yourself.
Quite literally.
Yes. Okay, so earlier CC this time from Strelok.
Yeah, much earlier CC and an engineering bay, very early as well. Which I'm not sure what that means, but it's a thing that you can do. So
Yeah. So apparently we're using the pirated version of Strelok as well. Okay.
it's yeah, I guess. Oh, okay.
It's fine. We'll just harvest Bitcoin for him. VladimirPutin.exe. Yes, let's run VladimirPutin.exe.
Scotland lottery. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's
See,
interesting to see this base on the low ground is not becoming an orbital, just building SCVs.
yeah.
And the engineering bay has been built, but nothing using it has happened so far? Oh, planetary at the natural. Okay.
Oh, it's learning that it
That's
needs some more defense, I think. There's a couple of
interesting.
Zerglings coming in. They'll certainly get in before this planetary's finished. But
Although,
I don't think, yeah,
Reapers, or
yeah,
the fast boys, jetpack boys, very, very strong against Zerglings,
yeah.
especially before speed finishes.
It did get a couple of hits on the PF, which is, I guess, like something, right? It
Yeah,
took about 5 minerals to repair, so, you know,
yeah,
denying the
exactly.
opponent's minerals. Which in actual fact is like a fifth of the cost of a Zergling, so, you know, it's fine.
Yeah. Yes.
So
The
not entirely efficient, but, you know, not wasted either.
I mean, yeah, sure, we'll go with that. We got factory and a starport on the way. Tech lab factory. The Rax is not building any units. Seems like this might be an oversight, but
It's got a planetary fortress, it doesn't need any units.
I mean that's true. Planetary fortress it does stop most early game pressures. Because I mean, unless it's mutas, like what are you gonna do to break the planetary?
Yeah.
Bunch of banelings or something like.
Oh, you need a lot of banelings for that, but
Yeah, you need yeah, like 4 or 5 bases of banelings. And back into
so
double starport. Interesting.
this is a pretty greedy opening as well. You're going on 3 bases before 5 minutes already. Like,
Yeah, well, and with like no units.
yeah,
There's 8 supply of units. Not that
yeah.
Spiny has much more, but
I mean, that's just lucky, really. I mean, he does have queens, though, and a lot of them. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, that's how you play Zerg. Like, you just build queens and then you don't die, and then you get a lot of drones, and then
yeah,
they throw units at you, and you're like, haha, I have queens, and it's okay.
yeah. So, I think the tactic is good as well, because these Reapers are just keeping everything on Spiny's side of the map, really.
Yeah, the Reapers haven't died, and that has forced definitely a lot of units to stay at home. And obviously, Zergling's not really going to be able to do a whole lot of run-bys on the planetary.
No. Oh,
Would be interesting to see them try to maybe cancel this third instead, but looks like
yeah.
it's a little late for that.
You wouldn't really want to be one of those Zerglings running into that big planetary fortress. It's like,
Yeah, that would not be the most pleasant.
tiny little Zergling. It's like this huge cannon.
We got another factor coming up. Looks like we're going back into lots of Banshees here.
Yeah,
Oh, and an orbital at the third. That's interesting.
that's good. It's interesting to actually look at the planetary fortress, the cannon on top. It shouldn't theoretically be able to hit like down there at the bottom if the Zerglings got around to it. So I don't know how that works exactly, but
It shoots the projectiles really slowly and they just like fall. Don't worry about it.
no,
Okay.
okay, fine. I guess that works. Logic.
Why not?
Yeah.
So the Overlord gets in and sees everything. There is a fusion core here. No battle cruisers yet, but we can remain hopeful.
I want to see battle cruisers. I think that they are in Strelok's repertoire somewhere. I'm not sure.
Well,
the
I mean,
condition.
it hasn't been ranged liberators, so I don't know why else you would build the fusion core.
Yeah.
And they're banking a lot of gas right now, so maybe.
Yeah,
Cross our
entirely
fingers and hope.
possible. What's that? Still hasn't got a single kill on that Banshee, and it's down to 11 hit points.
And more Zerglings run to their death.
Oh,
Yep, planetary Zerglings.
Oh.
Zerglings lose this round too.
and Roaches are going to lose that round as well. Or maybe not.
15 kills on that planetary. Soon to be 16, I think.
Nah, it's fine. It's just gonna stay there and like borrow up.
And yeah, so the unit count now is much more even this game,
Yeah.
and that's generally not ideal if you're the Zerg player. Although, yeah, Roaches and Banelings are not the most supply efficient units, and so if you're on the same amount of supply as the enemy, that tends to not be the most cost-effective trades. However,
Sure.
5 bases tends to
Yeah.
be a lot more than 3. So
It's 5 bases to 3, and it doesn't look like Strelok's going to be able to get another base up this game either. Just looking at the way the borrows are showing up. There is a Viking.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a Viking there. So okay.
this one roach has just been chilling in the mineral line. It's just it pops up, takes a shot, goes back. Oh, and the Ravens to end that.
Oh no, Raven's gonna spoil its day. There we go.
And there are quite a few Banshees out. It looks like we're still going 3 Banshees at a time here.
Yeah. But that's gonna lose value over time, though, I guess.
Yeah, well, and 1/1 ship weapons and armor is coming up, but I mean, attack 2 or +2 ranged attack is on its way for Zerg, and again, like Hydra's queens, they sort of just destroy Banshees in a straight up fight.
Yeah, we see that. This Banshee looks like it is not long for this world. Oh. And that goes down. So yeah, there's kind of fights all over the map at the moment. I think we're getting into this situation again where it's like you don't need to kill buildings, you just need to kill army units.
Yeah, it's interesting to see this skirmishing, because a lot of the trades are, well, ineffective on both sides, and it would be interesting to see how the units like prioritize when to fight and when to not fight.
Yeah. I get
definitely some of this is.
Yeah, I get the sense that there's a lot of kind of like ideas of what you need in a specific fight, but not so much in terms of how far you are ahead or behind in the actual game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and there's a lot of just skirmishing going on here that seems unnecessary and cost ineffective, especially for the Zerg player, where it's like you don't really want to be skirmishing into Banshees. That's not a...
No.
You just want to sort of use your 93 drones, make a death ball, and break it across the Terran's face a couple times. Yeah. Force them to fight you one-on... If you're in a... Force them to fight heads up, because when the Banshees have to fight heads up, then they just sort of die.
Yeah. It's certainly not easy for them, but again, 5 bases here, so...
Yeah, the base count is... Oh, that's an interesting base location.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's deliberate or if that's just like, I just need another base, I'll stick one there.
Yeah, that is definitely a strange place to put it. I guess it makes your units closer to the enemy, so...
Yeah.
There's that, I guess. 3/3 on the way.
Wow.
For the Zerg, or sorry, just +3 attacks for the Zerg, but +2 ship weapons coming. So, I mean, the Banshees still hit hard.
Yeah, they're still going to take out a fair few workers if they get the chance. The problem is that the worker count is currently at 86 for Spiny. So.
Yeah, and it seems to be going up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Terran, though, does have a substantially more army value right now. I think if these forces were to consolidate, there might be a potential here to get some damage done, and potentially if you take out some tech, you could stall this game long enough for there to be...
Yeah, but if he's stalling it, he really needs more bases, is the problem.
That's true. He does. There needs to be some effort on taking expansions, especially on the top side of the map where Strelok has had a lot of control.
Yeah. It's just that there's too much here for him to not do that. There's creep tumors and everything. So yeah.
The skirmishing everywhere continues.
Yeah, we really need like 5 screens for this. It's just fighting literally everywhere on the map.
Anywhere that there are units, anywhere there can be units, there is fighting.
Yeah. I think this is half caused by the queens, because they want to come out and spread their creep. So the Terran finds them there and starts attacking, and this obviously has to go and defend them.
Yeah, and just even trying to clear creep, like, because there is creep everywhere, you are constantly inviting conflict.
Yeah. But it's probably going to be a very slow process, but at the moment it does look like Zerg is getting the upper hand again.
Yeah, the minerals are are being depleted here, and there is no new bases. Also, there are so many workers, but there are 51 SCVs, but a lot of them are not mining. A lot of them are doing whatever this is near the gas and having a party, I guess.
What the hell is happening there?
Yeah, that they're doing their thing. So that seems not ideal, especially when you only have 51 workers.
That's not where I would place all my workers, definitely. So yeah, kind of only really 5 mineral patches left there, and the 8 there, which is going to get mined out pretty quickly, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and again, it doesn't matter how cost effective your trades are. These Banshees are putting in work, but it sort of doesn't matter if you just run out of units eventually.
Although, if you look at how much is being mined, it's still like a reasonable amount for Strelok. It's still about a third less than Spiny, but...
Yeah, but the problem is there is no... These patches, you know, like 200, 300 minerals left. And then that's it. There is no new base. There isn't even really map control to take into some new bases. Again, maybe these top bases if there was some clearing of the creep, but...
And we have more of our borrowed roaches, or the brooch. But yeah, it's just constant skirming
very
everywhere.
Slowly. It would also be interesting to see Spiny get some more tech units out here. It's got a lot of gas in the bank, but it's building Zerglings, which seems maybe not like the ideal choice of units to make when you have almost 2,000 gas in the bank.
Yeah, so Rap in chat is saying he wants to make more mutas. I'm with him on that one. Mutalist here would be great.
Yeah, I mean there's pretty much nothing that shoots up.
Yeah.
There maybe is some cyclones, but yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at the losses tab, and there's about double the losses for Spiny than there is Strelok, but it's not going to matter because he's just got way more units.
You can be really efficient if all your units die.
Yeah.
Doesn't help you.
Yeah, so Strelok is about twice as efficient as Spiny.
Yeah, it's now 16 workers to 55, and
wow.
this seems like it's not headed in a great direction.
Yeah, it seems like we might have our third semi-finalist, guys. But so the supply is starting to tumble a bit from Strelok, or it does win that fight.
And Strelok does still actually have more army value, but it's not about how many men you have, it's about how many you have to replace them. And Right now,
That's
there's not very many.
there are Marines that don't like that outlook on life, by the way. You know, like
Okay.
you try telling them they're expendable.
This is why you just play Zerg.
Yeah, fair enough. They just do what you say without question, really. So, you
Exactly.
know,
You never have to worry about
God.
them not following your orders.
Well, technically, the Overmind had to worry about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, the whole... Yes,
Yeah.
sure, yeah, okay.
You know, it's like it wasn't the only
Irrigan.
race to blow up its own leaders, but you know, certainly done it in a spectacular way. But
There are a surprising amount of drones dying here, and there's not... Well, the units on the field, but they're not in the right spot here.
what? Wait, how did the drones die? Oh, is that just through the?
Hellions.
Oh wow,
Hellions have just been sort of killing drones, and the
nice.
Zerg units are very spread out.
Yeah, there's not a lot here to deal with that. Could we be
The
seeing a comeback here from
this
Strelok?
this this could potentially, depending on how the drones go. I think this comes down to the drones and the
Yeah,
navigation of these armies. If the Terran army can ball up and do critical damage to like take out one of the rest of these drones, I think it could just win. There is no mineral bank. Like if
yeah.
the drones stop mining, it is just over.
But there's only 10 SCVs left from Strelok, and there's literally no mining on. I guess there's a little bit of mining there.
From the two mules mining, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's. Oh, I think this could be a win for Strelok here, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, if the Banshees, this is where the cost effectiveness of your Banshees is gonna really matter.
Yeah. There are some muters out. Raph got his wish.
Oh, a Hellion
Some,
found this base, and
yeah.
there is no spine here.
Oh, this is going to be painful. Yeah, I don't think Spiny is in a good position here.
Yeah, I mean the units are pretty low. The mutas are finally showing up to the party here, but
Yeah. And
like I mean, Roach Ravager Muta I think is basically the unit composition, and you don't want to be even in supply with Roach Ravager Muta.
yeah. Although these Banshees might get taken down. No, they're just about going to get out, I think. Wow. Strelok is putting up a fight, guys. This is not
Yeah.
over yet.
Well, and the amount this planetary at 32 kills, and that's
Wow.
that's put in work. That's put in
Yes.
a surprising amount of work for the the natural base. Not usually what you expect to be the most active planetary fortress.
Okay. That's a problem. Spiny just got a few of his air units taken down. And yeah, he is still mining, but not as much as he would like to be, certainly. So where are all the units from Strelok? Wait, they're just sitting there running over around the map. So they're not all mining.
Yeah, but these units are dying to a planetary. I mean, this seems like maybe not the thing to try to kill right now.
Yeah.
Like maybe anything but the planetary would be a good target.
Although there's not much minerals to repair this, so enough Ravagers might just be able to buy all this down.
That's true, and actually the gas too, because planetaries cost gas, and if you have 0 gas, you can't repair.
Yeah. But Roaches will get taken out by the tanks. Oh wow.
46 to 46 army supply.
This is a crazy game, guys.
This is way closer than it ever thought it would be.
Way closer than it should have been, but you know,
Yeah,
it's. I mean, Strelok putting up a fight.
yeah. The work from these Hellions and Banshees to just continuously rack up drones
Yeah.
is very impressive.
But yeah, so yeah, they're all on there now. So none of his SCVs are going AWOL. It looks like, which is good.
Yeah, this planetary is at half HP and not really being repaired.
I don't think it can be. It's not mining any gas.
Yeah.
So
The tank here next to the orbital though has seriously put in some work.
yeah.
And I mean, I think this is back to we're like a sort of a low economy version of what was happening before. We've got even less defensive money, and slightly more money from the Zerg. And I think really just this one mining base is going to be the difference.
I mean, it's just four workers now, and obviously he'll get mules as well. But mules aren't really the solution to his problems.
Yeah. Well, there's only 4 mineral patches left. No, 5 mineral patches left.
Yeah. No, 4.
With the one at the planetary.
Ah, sorry, yeah.
And yeah, that's just not that much income.
Yeah.
Now, maybe the orbital from the main could be floated somewhere?
I mean, it's certainly possible, but still only 4 workers, even if he does.
Yeah.
And there's nothing
I mean,
here.
mules are great, but like, they're not that great. Oh, and the planetary. It might fall. If the corrosive biles go.
Yeah.
Oh, on the last corrosive bile. Snipe.
Yeah, oh, that's going to go down. Sorry, I think I'm a bit behind you, but it's gone. Yeah. Just that. Oh, nice. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference though, because I mean, it done its work, but it wasn't really mining, so.
That's fair, that's fair. But 1 SCV, 24 drones. I mean, 24 drones is not really ideal, but I think 1 SCV is less.
It's better than 1.
Yeah. Last time I checked, 28 more than 1.
Yeah, I'd have to put it into a calculator, but yeah, I think we call that. So yeah, there's.
Oh, and here come the Zerglings. Oh, and that's
Yeah.
Zerglings on the orbital. That looks like probably about it here.
I think you're right. There's still a fair amount of army there, but getting rid of all the mules as well. Oh, the orbital does lift, so that's fine.
Well, yeah, but it's not mining.
Yeah. All right. I'm not sure where all the army from Strelok is. Oh, it must be all in there. Yeah. Right. I think it's 6 bases to 1. There is no more workers and no more real income from Strelok. I think we probably have to call it there, unless these Hellions can win the game by themselves.
Something tells me that 1 SCV does not beat the
yeah,
many times that of.
It's not even mining.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to fast forward this because I think we're probably at the point where most human players would say GG in chat right now.
Still way closer game than was ever expected or ever really should have been. Like that.
I mean, when it got to a situation where it was like 90 to 30 drones, you expected it to just be a simple walkover for Spiny. And then it got to a situation where he was actually up on drones briefly. But yeah.
Yeah, up on SCVs rather.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, there were the destruction there with the Hellions. There were some very toasted drones.
Yeah, what does toasted drone taste like?
It's unpleasant if you're the Zerg.
Yeah. I don't know. Pretty pleasant for a human.
The blue flame just roasting him.
Drones are for life, not just for breakfast. So yeah, so it does.
Just walk across the map, Spiny.
Come on,
Just
you can
kill
do
him.
it. So there will be Spiny into our next semi-final, and we will face the winner of our other semi-final tonight, which will be Additional Pylons versus Dominion Darg. I love that name. The bot used to be called Fiddlina, after the author Fiddlina, but changed the name to Dominion Darg. It's a cool name.
Very appropriate.
Yeah, so finally, Spiny, you took your time, but
Like, oh, I can go up the ramp?
yeah, it's like, there are buildings to kill. Like, both of those bots, I feel, didn't really prioritize killing the enemy's buildings. It was like, I just want to kill their army, and it's fine. So yeah, so yeah, Spiny goes into semi-final, and next up is Dominion Dog versus Additional Pylons. What are you expecting from the match?
Well, Additional Pylons has had a very wide variety of builds. If I recall last season, it was a lot of one-base builds, but I don't know. I'm expecting some interesting things from him.
It is our last Protoss in the tournament, the last Protoss standing, and yeah, so carry the pride of Aya into the battle against the Dark. Right, I'm just loading up the game. Give me a shout when you're good to go.
I'm already.
Cool. So for our final quarterfinal, it is. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Get that up. Yep. Good to go. In 3, 2, 1, go. And in the bottom left, it is our last Protoss standing, the pride of Aya, carrying the flag. It is Additional Pylons. And up in the top right, looking to smash his way through, it is the Dominion Dog. Yeah. Interesting placement of the first supply depot there.
And no SCVs behind it.
No.
This is definitely a non-standard build.
Yep. Right. Dominion Dog has been known to come out with a fair bit of cheese.
The Rax is across the map, so I would definitely.
Yeah. Here we go.
I would definitely say that counts as cheese. Now, does the probe notice that there is no Rax at home?
I think it's probably that's what it's there to do. So, although it's just
There is
seeing the
one now.
barracks, yes. So it might not kind of twig that. But I don't know.
You would hope the alarm bells would be going off here at home.
Yes. I mean, certainly for a human player, you'd see that and wonder what the hell was going on.
Yeah, 3 racks now. Interesting. No more SCVs. Is this just going to be Reapers? Just 3 racks Reaper?
3 racks Reaper, yeah. This is a very strong build from Dominion Dog. Actually, it's caused a lot of trouble on the ladder with this build, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, the Cybercore is halfway done. There are no units at home. Like, yeah, this could be really, really bad here for Additional Pylons.
Normally, you are able to get the first Stalker out not too long after the Reaper hits. So that kind of timing, if you can just dance around with the probes, with the drones rather, no probes, sorry, you should be able to deal with his first Reaper without too many losses. But he's not really microing.
The target fire is not ideal necessarily, but well, there's 2 racks at home, but they're not making any units.
Yeah. It feels like this build could be optimized, but the second Reaper's going to come in. Oh, this is not looking good for additional pylons. But he's not lost too many. Eight probes. 8 is quite a lot. But it's still only 1 worker down, 2 workers down on what Dominion Dog has at home.
And now we're up to 4 racks, 3 at home, 1 across the map. But the delay on those Reapers at home, I think really hurts, because now they're going to be units out to defend, and you don't have enough Reapers to just kill them.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I mean, he's getting more and more Stalkers out all the time, so generally
I think
you need...
your Reaper timing here is sort of over.
Yeah. What you need to hold this is just lots and lots of Stalkers.
Yeah, or Adepts.
Yeah. But getting a blink as well on the Stalker would be good, but there's no upgrades there for the moment.
Well, and I think, I don't know, maybe I'm just greedy, but I think you could even just take an expansion right now, because if you have a bunch of Reapers, what are you going to do against the expansion? Hit it with the Reapers? Like,
I mean, has he locked himself in here? Has he blocked that off? I think he can get through, but...
I think the Stalker's just on patrol.
Yeah. Maybe. I think the 2 are just blocking off each other.
And a fleet beacon, because, of course, additional pylons.
Yeah, why not? So it looks like a Tempest build here.
Yeah, I mean, Tempests are yeah, they are a unit that you can make. I'm not sure how well Tempests fare into a whole bunch of Marines. I feel like a whole bunch of Marines can kind of just walk up the ramp, but
yeah,
I would really like to see like a single sentry here to hold the ramp and like just massively increase the effectiveness of these air units.
Yeah. So I don't know what's happening here, but he is trying occasionally to build an expansion and then going back. That's probably a bug.
Oh, well, now we're just getting a lot of Stargates. Can you support 3 Stargate Tempest off of just 2 gases on 1 base? I feel like you don't have anywhere near enough gas for that.
You need a lot more. So normally on 2 bases with full saturation, you can support 4 gates. So it's kind of like you do 2, but yeah, 3 gates is more of a problem.
Marines headed across the map, but they have no upgrades, no stim, no combat shields.
It's going to take... And there's only 3 of them. Yeah, this is looking good for additional pylons.
Yeah, I mean, Marines can be good if you have enough of them with some upgrades. Upgrades are sort of really important here, though, and walking them one at a time up a ramp into a bunch of Zealots and Tempests, I think, is single file march to the death.
Oh. Again, being a Marine here is probably the worst job in the world. Although there is a bunch here.
This is going to be some bloodstains on the ramp here.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be enough because you've got half the Marines fighting the Nexus and half them fighting the army. You need to have them all fighting the same target here, and that's a major mistake.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you don't really kill 3 Zealots, 3 Stalkers, and 2 Tempests with a dozen Marines. Like, you just need more.
No, and it looks like the Reapers are coming back as well.
They've decided to join their Marine brethren in death.
So, do have some Marines and tanks, which I think is going to be next on the agenda.
It's I mean, the units aren't on the ramp anymore, so they could actually die here potentially.
Yeah.
But again, tanks don't shoot up, and it's a serious design flaw because
Tempests are great against tanks.
yeah,
Exactly what you need. So they've decided better of their attack.
There is no expansion here from Dominion Dog. Got a lot of gas, but no upgrades, no tech. Just lots of Marines, and I mean, Marines are pretty good.
Yeah,
I will be the first to admit, Marines very strong, but I think many Tempests are stronger.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And you know, Dominion Dog really needs to get an expansion pretty fast. This whole base is running out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it is the 8 minute mark. You don't really want to be on one base at 8 minutes.
There we go. And I think we saw it from Strelok in the last game. It's like eventually, if you don't expand, you will just run out of gas and minerals, and no matter how efficient trades you're taking, it's just not going to work.
See, it's like the Tempests are headed across the map to maybe try to pick away at some of these Marines here. And I mean, honestly, like any loss here is actually kind of major. There are only 4 mineral patches mining right now, and so especially if they can camp the production and like with these Tempests over where the third base would normally be for a Terran and just snipe the Marines as they come up.
Yeah. So you need 2 Tempest shots to kill a Marine, unless your Tempests have +2 weapons. So, but it is picking off a few of them, gradually whittling down this force.
Well, and there is not combat shields or any upgrades for the Marines. So Marines, again, they really like upgrades. They really struggle without them.
Yeah. And they're not doing any damage here. They're just walking around in circles.
They're like, look, I'm closer. Look, I'm farther.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to do some weird dance. Like, come on, fight!
Yeah, I think it has to do with the difference between the Stalkers and the Tempests. They're running towards the Stalkers and away from the Tempests and just end up going in circles.
Oh, these Marines are just bugging out.
That is quite the slaughter. Quite the blood stain on the ground there.
There is a lot of blood down there. And okay, so that's all the Stalkers dealt with. So they should be just in a runaway mode now. Or run towards, actually. But yeah, so...
But now there are not very many left.
No. So
and,
there's still...
Some tanks have decided to join the death party here.
There's a lot of blood in this map. So... And now Marines streaming 1-to-1 to their deaths.
Yeah. Well, and now there are just way too many Tempests. There are no Vikings. Yeah. There are no Ravens.
Yeah.
I think
there
this is pretty over here.
Out, but it's yeah, the starport's not really producing.
What are you going to build
anything.
with? With what money?
Yeah. It's not going to be a good thing.
There are 7 Tempests.
Yeah. I am going to call this game over for additional pylons. In game 1.
Really seems to be that way.
A bit of an upset, maybe, on the cards.
Yeah, I mean, the opener looked really strong for Dominion Dog, but then it just sort of fell apart, and the Tempests. I mean, Tempests be Tempests.
Yeah, it's once you get a certain amount of Tempests, it's very, very difficult to stop. So yeah, additional pylons will take a 1-0 lead. Cool. Yeah, some really nice control on the Tempests, and just the Marines there were just kind of like running around doing a little jig, but weren't really that effective. Yeah, so that's
good.
I
think if the Marines had been able to commit to a fight and push the Tempest back, maybe there could have been some more room for that to go the other way. But
there was a point there when it was on the map that if they'd have had Stim and they'd have just stimmed in against all the Tempests, they probably would have taken out every single one of those Tempests and been in a pretty good position.
Yeah, there was a point where there was like 3 Tempests on the map, and if you get all of those and the 3 Stalkers or whatever, and then it's just like, well, now you have no units.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go with game 2. You good to go?
Yep.
Cool. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, you know what
All
to
right.
praise this time?
In the bottom right, with the red probes, it is additional pylons. And in the top left, with the blue SCVs looking to come back here, it is Dominion Dog.
The dog is in the house. Okay, so
Wait, we have actual SCVs being built this time,
yeah, and it doesn't
and
look.
a depot in a real place. So that's
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's sending anything over the other side of the map. But the same cannot be said for additional pylons.
there
Whoa.
is a probe, although it is a gate first, so
Oh,
I don't think it's gonna be a cannon rush this time. Could be a 4
damn
gate
it.
though. You never know.
Yeah, I really wanted to see a cannon rush. I don't think there's been a cannon rush in this entire tournament, which might actually be the first tournament that we haven't seen a cannon rush. And given that additional pylons is our last Protoss, it is all down to additional pylons to give us a cannon rush. I
Yeah, let's
believe
see
in you.
it. Even if it is against the Terran, which is maybe not the ideal target to cannon rush.
No. Yeah.
Stupid flying buildings. Ugh.
That's so annoying. Every time I try and cannon rush a Terran, it's just like, yeah, I'll just go down to my natural then. Or,
Yep.
ugh, bloody Terrans. Okay, we've just been disappointed by Mind Me in chat. Just telling he never cheeses. Ah, you
Very
should mix a
sad.
bit in. Yeah, I might disqualify additional pylons for being a Protoss that doesn't cannon rush. It's like, what are you doing? You lose your Terran, you lose your Protoss license if you don't cannon rush, at least once.
Yeah, I mean, you're a Protoss. You got to have some cheese builds in there. Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
you're a Protoss and you don't cheese. That's like, you know, it's just not a Protoss.
This is an interesting build here out of Dominion Dog. Uh, I mean, it looks like it's a standard 1-1-1, but just without the expansion. So
Yeah.
everything's just a little faster. And I'm wondering if they're gonna look to hit a timing. The Rax is rallied like across the map.
Yeah, I'm not sure that means a lot though, because as soon as they rally out, they're gathering by the main CC.
That is true.
But yes, it is exciting to see the rally point at the opponent's base, but unfortunately, I'm not entirely
Not
convinced that
terribly
that's
confident
accurate.
that
Yeah.
that's yeah.
uh,
All right, it looks like siege tanks and a starport coming up,
yeah, I think.
and more Stargate. Do you think gonna be
Yeah,
more Tempests?
I think we're going to see. Well, I think additional pylons is just taking the attitude of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. In one game, one with his Tempests, so why not try it again?
Yeah, I mean it was pretty decisive. There were a couple moments, but it was pretty decisive. So
Yeah.
I would like to see an expansion or some upgrades here out of Dominion Dog.
Yeah.
Your timing usually, I mean, if you're doing a 2-on-1, you can get away with no upgrades. But even with the 2-on-1, you really want like stim or something.
Yeah. Generally, if you've got that many Marines out, you need stim. Especially against someone that's building kind of like Tempests and the kind of thing that you really need to stim into.
Yeah, and just like even like combat shields, just anything, any upgrades. Just pick one.
Yeah.
Get like if you're gonna do a one base play here, and it does not look like there's oh maybe as soon as I say it, but I'm not seeing an expansion in the future for this. This looks like the goal is to just hit with this attack and do critical damage.
So we had both tanks siege up and the Liberator siege up for that single drone. You just wanted to
Probes
make
are
sure.
scary.
Yeah.
Probes are scary.
Yeah.
So now there is no shield battery at home, and there sort of aren't units warping in. There will be a Tempest, but one Tempest does not do that much damage.
Especially against so many Marines. you need more than one Tempest.
Yeah, and now imagine if there was a medevac here, or stim, I would be even more concerned.
Oh.
But honestly, the Liberator by itself can do quite a
Yeah.
bit.
So this is not looking good for additional pylons here. There's
Yeah,
no
I
way
don't
you can
think they're
go.
going to be... You definitely can't hold that low ground. And I mean, there needs to be a shield battery. There's no units. There's just no units.
Yeah, the only thing there
12
is that
army supply to
Tempest.
40.
And that Tempest is going to get taken out by the Viking, I think. Now we have
It doesn't
Marines
matter how good your
into
Tempest
the
micro
main.
is, if the Tempest can only kill stuff so fast.
Yeah. So we see the expansion being taken out already. And I think that this is as good as over here.
Yeah, it certainly does not look good unless these Marines feed their lives away to some Tempests.
Yep.
There are now 2 Tempests out, but I mean, there are 3 tanks and a bunch of Marines, like
I
4
mean,
tanks.
he can now single volley a single Marine at a time. But I feel like the Tempest would be better off targeting the tanks, to be honest.
Well, I mean, yeah, the only thing that can threaten the Tempests is the Marines, but at this point, you're not worried about your Tempests, you're worried about your buildings, like...
Yeah. So I think that the additional pylons made the dog mad. You know, don't anger the dog.
Seriously, so this is quite the aggressive build here.
Yeah. Oh.
Still no shield batteries. Where are the shield batteries at?
And we are on latest patch with this, so you can get overcharge shield as well.
Overcharge is so good. It's like so good. People think it needs to be nerfed.
Yes. Yeah. Wait. I think the Tempest can't see the tanks. I think they can just about. Yeah.
And an expansion finally comes up, so it looks like there will be at least a little bit of macro behind this.
Yeah. So they're going back home now, but I think they've dealt pretty much critical damage here.
The thing is, they're on even workers.
Yeah.
And like the tech is actually, I'd say, behind for Dominion Dog. Like the fleet beacon is up. There are Tempests being produced.
But there's no cybercore for additional pylons, so no more stalkers until that comes back up. Which is... Oh, wait, is there?
It's on the right, I think.
Oh, yes, sorry, I entirely missed that. It did get taken out, but obviously he's rebuilt it, so...
Yeah, and it's interesting to see a Twilight Council and a Robo here. It's a little different than last game.
Yeah.
Not just these Tempests, I guess, but we'll see.
I think I'd like to see him get some kind of splash damage at some point, because he's going to need it to take out all these Marines. So either some kind of Templar or High Templars, or
yeah, I mean, I think Storm is usually the ticket with Golden Armada together.
Yeah.
You can wreck Vikings and Marines alike, which are pretty much the best counters to mass air.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm surprised to not see any more Tempests being produced right now. There's sort of nothing in production.
Well,
I have 500 gas in the bank and rising.
300.
Seems like you might want to spend some of that.
Especially as this army from Dominion Dog is coming across the horizon.
Yes.
Now is the time to spend
that's
all your money.
That's a lot of Vikings. I mean, like, what, 9 Vikings? 10 Vikings? Maybe more?
I think they're just going to dive on these Tempests.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they can, if they target fire, they can probably one-shot the Tempests.
Well, they're not targeting fire very effectively, but I think they're going to take them down anyway.
But at some point, it doesn't matter. Tempests no longer have space to run, and with the Tempest down, this is looking very over here.
Yeah, there is 0 army here now for additional pylons. So I think I'm calling this one. So in game 1, additional pylons made the dog angry. In game 2, the angry dog bit back.
Yeah, that early timing was very successful.
That was devastating.
against. Yeah, I think that's one of the dangers. If you go for like a 1 gate expand, but you also have rushing tempests, you sort of just don't have that many units.
Yeah.
And no shield batteries. And then you can just die.
I think you know against Dominion Dog that he's going to attack you early, and he's going to try the aggressive build. So getting those shield batteries up early is pretty much a must.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and like even just having one on the low ground or something, like it seemed like there was very little reaction to the probe that saw several racks.
Yeah, it's
or the lack of the expansion.
It had scouting, but it didn't react to scouting properly, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe we'll see a different build out of additional pylons next game though, but there's no changing its build when it loses. Although, if it was winning the game, then it's no reason to change its build, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. So it's even series. I'm loading up game 3 now. Give me a shout when you're ready to go.
I'm all good.
Okay. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Draw the intros.
Sure. In the top right, with the red probes, it is additional pylons who does not believe in miracles. And in the bottom left, the blue SCVs, we have Dominion Dog, who definitely, as you said, bit back last game. That was quite the aggressive attack, and it was very effective at shutting down the additional pylons, anything.
So I'm interested to see what additional pylons goes with this game. It looks like it's saving money, and it's going to go for a Nexus first.
Is the Nexus before Gate?
Yeah, Nexus before Gate.
This is definitely
This is the greediest build.
This is not the build that I would have chosen after being hard one-base timing, but I mean, okay.
Maybe it's just got this idea that like it isn't gonna try and do that twice. You know, it's like
it's like you did the build last time, so now you won't do it again, right?
Yeah, maybe that's what happens in human play, but unfortunately in bot play, the same is not true.
Yeah.
So this is a hyper greedy build. And it could be that
the build is looking
going
the same
first on there, yeah. So there's not going to be any early Reaper, which is good news for additional pylons, because an early Reaper would have been quite effective.
Slaughtered a lot of probes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is no expansion. There is a factory coming up. This is looking very much like the build from last game.
Yeah, this is looking even worse for additional pylons than the last game.
I think the one thing here that could be a saving grace is because the Nexus is up on the low ground a little bit earlier, there will be a little bit of time for this to pay off before the attack lands.
It's even worse. There's a third.
Yeah, okay, that might be.
I mean, there is greedy and there is this kind of greedy. It's.
Yeah, this is Scarlet greedy. This is I'm just building a bunch of probes and praying.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Probe and pray. I think we'll call that the new build.
And here comes the factory, building a tank, starport on the way, Marines being produced.
Oh no, this is not good.
No, and there's no shield batteries. There's like warp gate is not even being researched. Like there's
literally one stalker on the way, and that's got to hold off this entire army.
Yeah, I'm really not seeing how this defense works out.
Yeah. Oh god.
There's not even
It's
energy for a shield battery overcharge, even if there was a shield battery.
yeah. Uh, I don't know if the Dominion Dog will see this other expansion on the way through though, so possibly he could manage to hold at this expansion, but it seems
I
unlikely.
mean, yeah, especially like all the tech is in the main. I say all the tech is if there's more than just a Twilight Council, but
Yeah,
like your productions in your main, even if you have some mining on that base, this attack is going to be coming across the map any second here, and
yeah.
you have 6 supply of army.
I'm not sure you can hold this additional pylons. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you no amount of blink micro really
I
makes
mean, is Blink on the way?
or
Yeah.
or stalkers kill 2 tanks, a liberator, a handful of marines, whatever else comes out behind this.
I don't know if it does get Blink before this. I don't think it's gonna get Blink before this attack hits though.
No, it's gonna be a little while, and there are no shield batteries. Build
Oh
some
no!
batteries.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, the stalkers can't
No!
even kill the liberator. Oh, this
Oh
is
yeah.
major disaster here.
So there is a few more stalkers now, but yeah, they're going to come too close, and each one of these stalkers is remarkably valuable for additional pylons. Oh,
Yeah, they are
yeah,
just dying one at a time, and
yeah. There's nothing here that can stop it.
there's 2 army supply. Like it's just one stalker. One stalker.
Yeah,
Last time I checked, does not counter all of this Terran deathball.
no.
He's gonna be tearing through here pretty soon. Now, if he takes too long to attack, and they were to like instead of sending the stalkers down the ramp, if the stalkers could like build on the high ground, and I don't know, maybe get like
I don't think he's
some
going to get that opportunity.
archons or something. I don't even know what you would do. Like this is just looking very very bad.
He's almost taken out the Liberator. It's
Yeah. The Liberator does have only 5 kills, although one tank has 9 and the other tank has 11, so...
oh. So we see this very slow push in here. I mean, there's no real need to rush for Dominion Dog either. But
yeah, the only thing keeping additional pilots in the game is this unscouted base, but
yeah,
money doesn't necessarily help you if you have no units.
money
And there's
doesn't-
not even more production being built here. Like,
Yeah.
it's sort of just...
money doesn't buy you happiness, especially not in an additional pylons case.
Yeah.
So there we go. The natural is going to go down, and both the authors have called this in chat, I believe. So it might be worth just going and moving on to the next game. That was a nice tank shot, taking out 2 stalkers at a time.
Yeah, the 3 Nexus before any tech is maybe a little greedy into a 1 base pressure, but
I mean, that was Goldilocks, and he took everything. Like all 3
Yeah.
forages, you know. It's like
yeah, for real.
the story. It's like, yeah, I'm taking absolutely everything. He took all 3 forages, went back for 3 more, and cooked another pot herself. So you know, it's like that's about as greedy as it gets.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think there is I don't know, 4 bases before Gateway. Like, I don't know, what do you do that's more greedy than that?
I mean, like, if you go 4 bases before Gateway, your opponent literally has to be sitting there doing nothing. Like,
yeah, I think this is the time to pull out the cannon rush.
yeah, come
If
on.
only.
If only he had the build, you know. I mean, it's possible that it wasn't programmed in, and yet some spirit of Protoss is going to take over the bot's control and, you know, do a cannon rush.
It will revert to some old version and
Yeah.
Give us our cannon rush.
The spirit of Protoss. So this
Or at
cannon is
least
just sitting here, yeah.
a 4-gate something. We need something that's not 3 gates before or 3 Nexi before anything.
Yeah.
Oh, and the amount of siege tanks is just ridiculous. They're very scared of that one cannon.
Yeah. It was a scary cannon, to be honest. But...
I like the probes keep trying to build stuff and then immediate death.
At least they don't give up. You know, we can't have
That's
probes
true.
giving up. You know, it's fine.
They are very determined.
All right, so we have a game 4, guys. This time on our favorite map of Submarine, the teeny weeny map. It's like fighting in a phone booth. Nice fight in the phone booth.
If Dominion Dog does the same build again, it's gonna be even more effective than before.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the map. So definitely gonna need to see something different out of additional pylons if they want to hold this.
Yeah, I don't think 3 Nexus before gate is the option here. Are you good to go?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Do you want to do it first?
All you.
Okay. In the top left-hand corner, looking to come back from a 2-1 deficit, it is additional pylons. And down in the bottom right, looking to see this place in the semi-final for the first time, it is Dominion Dog. Okay. So I think Dominion Dog is probably going to pull out the same build again here. I think it's one of the bots that's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We've got a winning formula. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not carry on?
And whether by chance or not, this map is very favorable for such a build.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Oh, this time we actually have a gateway going down, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice to see.
So definitely a lot less greedy this time. It's fine. There is hope here. It just needs shield batteries and lots of it, and try and get some splash damage.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I feel like Immortals into Colossi is probably pretty good here. I don't think Colossi will be out before this timing, but I think you could have an Immortal or 2 out with some Zealots and Stalkers and like a battery or 2, and I think you are just fine.
Yeah, it's definitely possible to hold it. It's just, yeah, shield batteries would be the key. It's just whether additional pylons can build those or not.
No, Cybercore, no Nexus.
Yeah.
A lot of pylons. There are a lot of pylons and a lack of units.
It's not necessarily too much of a problem. He will obviously be filling out that supply limit pretty soon. But he probably needs to get another gateway up, maybe a Templar Archives, if we can get that to that.
And we're not researching Warp Gate. We have the money. This seems like a major oversight. Oh, Stargate,
No,
okay.
Wow, okay. Going back into the Tempest play, maybe?
Yeah, I think, okay, so hear me out here. Phoenixes. I feel like this could actually be the perfect time for like a mass Phoenix play.
Yeah.
You completely shut down the Liberator, you shut down the tanks, and then you have a battery and a couple of Stalkers, and if you have enough Phoenixes out, I think the Marines just don't do squat. Like,
yep.
Their Phoenixes are really good against small numbers of units, and that is pretty much exactly what this build is all about.
This early, certainly. But he's going robotics bait, and there is no there's no fleet beacon yet, so I think you could be right.
there's also no units though. This is also an interesting. Well,
Yeah.
I say no units. There are a couple of units, but the Stargate has been built, but nothing's been made out of it. The Robo has been built, nothing's been made out of it. Oh, and now a robotics base. There's a lot of tech, but if you invest this much in tech and an expansion, then you also don't really have money to also build units.
But with the robotics blade coming out, he could get like a Colossus.
Yeah. Colossi, or even like a Lucky Rupture Shot could be massive.
Disruptors into tanks is pretty powerful if he can get
Yeah.
onto them. I think it takes 2 shots to take out a tank, right? So, but it does do a fair amount of damage to them. Obviously,
Yeah, and
disruptors can't hit liberators, unfortunately, but
yeah, but you do destroy bio, and
yeah,
we see the probe scouts this army moving out across the map. So build some shield batteries. Come on.
yeah.
I
Let's
believe.
see.
Oh, here's a fleet
Oh,
beacon.
fleet
Okay, so
beacon.
you have a Robo, the Stargate, the fleet beacon. Like you got all the tech and no units. Oh, well, there is one disruptor. Okay, single disruptor.
Okay,
Can one disruptor
I
hold
believe this
all of this?
disruptor is the hero, and it is possible. Like a single disruptor hit, if he gets lucky, could take out the entire bioforce.
It could kill like all of the bio and like really hurt both tanks. If
Yeah.
maybe coming down the ramp though is not the.
No, but he might be able to take out a bunch of this, but those tanks are just going to town.
The tanks are strong. The disruptor is now out. This is gonna need to be the absolute
Go on,
hero
disruptor.
disruptor.
I believe in you. I believe in you,
Okay,
disruptor.
well
that's
not the ideal positioning for that.
Yeah, that wasn't quite what you needed out of that disruptor. I think it's fair to say.
And now that you got a fleet beacon and a Stargate, not just that are just like several hundred gas sitting here, and
yeah,
and no units.
Yeah, there's nothing there for him, and there goes his expansion. With just 3 army supply, which is all in that disruptor there.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this disruptor, no matter how good it does, it's sort of a little late
No,
at this point.
I still believe this disruptor can. Oh, okay.
I can walk into Liberators?
Yeah, I don't believe anymore.
Yeah,
okay.
I think this is. Oh, okay. Now we're trying Tempests.
I mean, the disruptor didn't work, so.
So maybe the Tempest is the ticket. Feeding 2 disruptors one by one to their death wasn't the ticket. So.
No.
Let's try something different. I mean, I appreciate the attempt here at trying a different strategy. However,
yeah,
I feel like this might be a little. It might be a little late for those gateways there.
Yeah, that's not quite what you need right now. Right, I'm going to call this here because I don't think there's any chance of a comeback at all. Congratulations to Fidelina with Dominion Dog. He is into our semi-finals, where he will face up against Spiny in what should be an epic game. That's going to be fun next week.
That is definitely going to be fun. Classic Terran versus Terran.
Yeah. So, and yeah, so I believe it is going to be 2 Zergs and 2 Terrans in our semi-finals, and Protoss will be sitting there watching on the sidelines.
It's gonna be the first time in a while. Usually Protoss are pretty dominant.
Yeah, they have been pretty successful in our tournaments so far. I think it might be the first time we haven't had at least one Protoss in the semi-final. But yeah, that's some fun matches, definitely. So yeah, congratulations to Dominion Dog. And I believe just got a quick bit of time to take a look at the bracket coming up. I'll just fill that out quickly. But yeah, certainly a very dominant win. So what are your expectations for Dominion Dog versus Spiny next week? It's going to be fun.
I mean, so of Spiny's builds that we saw today, I think most of them were relatively quick third base builds, and I think a lot of them would probably just it would just die to that death ball. However, I think we need to see Spiny lose some games to see some more if
Yeah,
there'll be some other builds out here.
it is completely undefeated in the tournament so far. Not dropped a single map. Actually, I think it's the only undefeated bot left. Yeah, so Micro Machine has dropped a map, and Swanbot obviously has dropped some maps. So yeah, the only bot left that hasn't dropped a single map is now Dominion Dog. No,
Yeah,
sorry,
Spiny.
Spiny. Yes. So let's take a look at the brackets. So yeah, see the group, and into the playoff brackets. So Swanbot versus Micro Machine, Spiny versus Dominion Dog. That will take place next Saturday, and then the final and third place playoff will be on Sunday. Make sure everyone is around for that. That's going to be some amazing games. So that's about all we've got for tonight. Holly, thank you very much for joining us. It's been great to have you.
Yeah, it was awesome to be here.
Cool. And thanks everyone else for tuning in. And we'll see you all next Saturday. It's going to be fun. Catch you later.